Welcome back to the episode of we are going to try out to defeat this Devourer over here. His weakness is of course white magic. I don't deal white magic damage, but I have another way of defeating creatures like this. And it's actually fairly simple. These guys
will do.
They should be strong enough so that they can, see that? Hit it and kill it with ease. That's the only enemy I still have to do something against. Let's hope that it has nothing to do with any quests also. But yeah, it actually looks like a fairly weak Devourer. You just need the right kind of crew for this. Okay, so it works. Oh wait, there's also the puddle that we have to attack here.
They will fall.
Just a few more hits and we're good. Perfect. So now the whole of Mulandir is pretty much saved. Perfect. The way it is supposed to be. And it didn't even take that long. I thought that the fight was actually a bit more dangerous in itself. But nah, nothing. Alright. I have to talk to, of course, Angar, Arandir. But before I do that, I am interested in those two artifacts I can finish now. One of it is the Executioner's Blade, the other one is the Axe of the Mountains. Both of them probably two-handed, and none of them are useful for the character I have right now, but maybe Angar might have a use for them. And if they are legendary, then even more so.
Got it.
So, why do they all of a sudden say Forgotten Knowledge? Where is the Forgotten Knowledge coming from? Wait a minute. Forgotten Knowledge. There. Travel to the Hibernian Temple in the... this is just part of the... Well, one of the side missions that you have to do. Fight some dragons and whatnot. It kind of feels as if you don't even need to upgrade your army that much.
Magical and
you only need to do like one, if anything, right? Because you can just do so much with just your heroes already. That's just great. Alright, so let's talk to Isgrimm and get ourselves some nice items.
Tahar, thank Nihal if you're awake. For a while I wasn't sure you'd make it. How do you feel? Out on the battlefield we didn't really get the chance to talk.
Yeah, confused. I'm alright.
Could be worse.
Well, that's good to hear. It's a tragedy. The purity on the loose, with the power of the Archfire in the Harbinger's hands. Who could have seen that coming? For what it's worth, I'm sorry I had to go through this. I truly am.
Yeah, I always had my doubts about Lacane.
I always had my doubts about Lacane. Only I didn't expect this to happen.
I figure.
Be that as it may, all that matters now is that we stop him. What about you, Isgrimm? I doubt whatever bargain you struck with Lacane still stands.
Wait a minute.
You're still here, so I guess you aren't planning on leaving.
Of course he's not, damn it. This is a treasure trove.
Me? No, of course not. Where would I go, Tahar? There's no way of knowing what the Purity would do if they caught me. He wanted to kill you, so maybe Lacane doesn't want to leave any witnesses.
Possibly.
Not to mention that we're still in the ancient Shaper City, full of marvels waiting to be discovered.
Yeah, this is... glad you're able to see it that way.
Well, I'm glad you're able to see it that way.
A frown hasn't helped anyone yet, has it? There's, one more thing I wanted to ask you. It's about your mother. About Andra.
Okay, well,
Ask.
I'm not sure how to say this, but she was a Shaper. A living Shaper.
yeah. What are you getting?
What are you getting at?
All tragedy aside, you have to understand how fascinating this is. A Shaper who survived through the Aeons. And as if that weren't enough, you even turn out to be related. I have so many questions, Tahar, so many questions. Iria said at the moment Andra and you melded, she made you see something. Fragments of her past.
Kind of like the link to the Nexus.
Now, I can't help but wonder, what was it? Did you see Mulandir in all its former glory?
I don't think it's this way. It's more like a burst of information at once, and you have to, well, fiddle through it somehow. Well, I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything. It's more like I suddenly have that sense of familiarity. Especially here.
But that's even more exciting. She must have transferred some of her memories onto you. I wonder if that's part of this melding ritual. Look, Tahar, I'm not sure how to say this, but how would you feel about it if I examine her? There's so much we could learn from her, even if her mind has left her body.
Examine? How?
What do you mean by examine? We're not talking about a dissection, are we?
What? No, of course not.
I know you mean well, but you're talking too far. Actually, no. What are you hoping to gain from that?
What are you hoping to gain from that?
You mean apart from being able to examine the body of a living shaper? There's much we could learn. Maybe we could even find something that helps us fight Lakain.
Yeah, if you really think it helps, alright, do it. As long as you don't dissect her.
If you really think it helps, alright, do it.
You really just said that? Point B, Half. Thank you. I'll talk to Undergast as soon as possible. His knowledge will be a great help. It'll be a while before we can start, but we'll do it as soon as possible.
Interesting.
More pieces. Let me take a look.
There we go. And just like,
Tahar,
yeah.
come over here for a second, will you? You finished your weapon.
Executioner's Blade is obtained. What about the other one? I think you have to talk to him twice in order to trigger both of it. And it's... No, you don't. You get both weapons at the same time. It's just that the overlay does not seem to refresh in the way it's supposed to.
Now,
Tahar, may I help you with something?
No, there's
goodbye.
So, let's see. There should be two more. There we go. The Axe of the Mountains, one-handed, nice. And the Executioner's Blade. It does pretty decent base damage, has a nice attack speed. The rest is also pretty sweet. And a chance to instantly kill your target with every hit. Whoa. That thing is amazing. Maybe this would be extremely good on, let's see, both of them are blue. Interesting. And also, what else do we have? The one-handed thing. Applies a status effect that increases attack speed with every auto attack, may stack up to 3 times. So if you have this one and another one with a similar effect, then you have like an extreme amount of attack speed. So who was the one with the high attack speed? Like this one maybe? Yeah. So if I give her that axe, the problem is the axe, every weapon, like every good weapon is basically dexterity based. Strength based, and there are only a few that are really dexterity weapons, and most of them can only be found in the rare section. There's not that much not that many epic dexterity weapons, except for two-handed ones. You don't get a good selection in here. It's fairly one-sided actually. Sad. Alright. Axe of the Mountains though. What about Isgrimm? Can he at least use it? Yes. What's it do? Yeah, of course you need dexterity as a side attribute, but come on. Yeah, heals all allies hit by it. Sure. Then there's also a shield. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, he has a shield that heals, that has a healing aura around it, and he has a chance to trigger an explosion healing. So the Mace of Restoration might not be an item that I want to switch between. Also, the stats are fairly similar. It doesn't matter that much. I would say that the bonus effect is much more important than that. So what about this weapon though? 30% chance to ignore armor, or like a chance to instantly kill. The problem is, what's that chance all about? Anyway, scholars often jokingly concede that the Executioner's Blade ended more internal conflicts in Northander than any army ever could. The origin of the weapon is unclear, but it appears that the weapon has an ancient origin. The first written account of it mentions the Executioner's Blade as the blade used for eliminating any sign of dissent among the humans during the War of the Six Races. And then they have the Axe of the Mountains. Dwarves say that Needhalf used this very weapon to shape the landscape of the Windfall foothills. Scholars suggest that this particular tale is a parable of the tribal struggles that shook the region centuries ago. Divine or not, the axe is surely one of the most exquisite weapons ever to be crafted on EO. Sure. But yeah, I want this two-handed one to be used by... Well, yeah, there's actually only one that can use it. It has better stats altogether. It's just that the armor rating is something interesting. Ah. Also, wait a minute. If the enemy, like, there are certain enemies that cannot be killed instantly, so this perk would not be useful. But the 30% armor penetration would. So in this case, I have to switch between this one and the other one, just to see. But yeah, we are going with this one on Angar. Also, yeah, what was it? What was the squad that I wanted to take? Uram, Angar, and one healer. It was Undergast, I believe. Yeah, these will be the guys I'm gonna take with it. Okay, I could try to do that kind of damage. Yeah, the white damage is definitely kinda useful with it. The thing is, if I give special weapons to all of the other characters, then I don't have the option to select another stuff here if the situation arises, so I'm kind of screwed. Alright, yeah, now that we got the weapons and everything, let's just go and talk to Angar about the quest that we actually want to do. Because of the improvement of the humans and stuff. Uram. Yeah, Uram is all dexterity based. So you can't have a dexterity, like a good, reasonably good dexterity melee weapon. Dexterity is in itself more a supportive stat if it's in melee, and then mostly used for ranged weapons. Like this one even is also a supportive stat here, but I don't have a good bow here. The only decent ones are the ones down here, but come on, it's rare bows, I need better ones than that. In this case, I have to go shopping, I believe. Anyway, let's talk to Angar. So, do you regret helping the Purity?
Tell me, Angar. Do you regret helping the Purity, now that you've seen their true face?
That's a hard question to answer, and you know it. On the one hand, yes, I underestimated them. On the other hand, back then, it was the only logical thing to do.
Logical?
Yes. After all, your father did in the Mage War. The people were angry, desperate, broken. The Purity channeled and still channels these emotions. It may sound cynical to say that now, but if it hadn't been for the Purity of Light, something far worse might have happened.
Interesting. Worse than a genocide. I do see the point.
I see your point. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Well, it's not the needs of the many. That is something that is usually said as in a more... It has a very democratic way of looking at it, but it's more a power struggle thing, and whatever keeps you in power needs to be secured. That's just what it is.
Precisely. But that is not to say that my decision to give the Purity of Light that much power came easy. I'm not free of self-doubt and empathy, Tahar, even though it may seem that way to you.
However, I will not lie. Mages are a problem, and something needs to be done about them. If we don't, it is only a matter of time until a second Isamo Tahar will appear and once again plunge the world into chaos.
Nah, it's not about a mage appearing in there. It's just about the... well, it's just about a two-faction kind of thing. The people are different. And then they take sides, and those sides get stronger, and at some point there's conflict, and this conflict has to be, well, taken care of somehow. Not all mages are evil. Yeah, we need a group that represents mages, though. That's the thing. Do we need representation of the mages? This is the thing. Yeah, if you represent every single one in the community, it's kind of neat. But then how do you weigh it out? And at some point, just representing certain people doesn't really help anyone. If there are always a lot of other people just having more votes, that makes absolutely no sense.
But so much good can be done with magic. We aren't all evil.
I know you aren't. I fought alongside battle mages for all my life. But as your father proved, the damage only one deluded mage can do equals an entire division of Northander soldiers.
Yeah, and what about economic powers? Companies? Same thing.
But to return to your question, all I did was take every factor into consideration and decide accordingly. You did the same, more than once. I've heard of the trail of destruction you've left behind on your journey. Many people died under your command.
Yeah. We tried to help wherever we could. Well, the sacrifices were necessary. Well, this is the thing. If you say the sacrifices were necessary, that just means that you're okay with people dying. You should still try to keep the number as low as possible.
We tried to help wherever we could.
I believe you, but have no doubt that there are many who don't. What I'm trying to say is, there might have been a better way to handle things, but I did not see it. I did what I could, and even though it turned out to be a mistake, I have no regrets.
This is actually a really good standpoint. And about Leanna.
I wanted to talk about Leonon.
I had a feeling you would. Look, back at Greykeep, the situation seemed crystal clear. You killed 3 of your brethren, and General Noria openly spoke out against you. Similar to my policy regarding the purity of light, I can now see that I was wrong. But again, all I did was to take all factors into consideration and decide accordingly.
Interesting. It happens a bit too often.
It was all I could do.
Could have used common sense.
You also could have used common sense. I risked my life to help Northander back when I turned to my father. Why would I now suddenly start massacring Wolfguard soldiers?
You're right. I should have taken that into consideration. Either way, you've been pardoned. And more than that, now we're fighting side by side against the real scourge of the Empire. I don't hold any grudges against you. And I can only hope you feel the same.
Yeah, the past is the past.
The past is the past.
It is indeed.
So, did you ever think about what would happen if Queen Aelith died?
Did you ever think about what would happen if the Queen never wakes up from her coma?
She will wake up. The healers claim that she's already getting better.
They've claimed that ever since the dragon incapacitated her.
The Queen has Hibernian blood in her veins. And as long as her heart is still beating, I will not waste any time thinking about something that might never happen. Though, of course, that is not to say that others at the court haven't done it. Most people believe that Queen Aelith doesn't have an heir. But that's wrong. She does.
Hoi.
Really? Who?
A cousin. I suppose you know about the Queen's problematic ancestry. The ability to give life has always been impaired in her bloodline, which is why she does not have any brothers or sisters. However, it was rumored that her uncle, Anno Aelith, left an heir before he died. A bastard son.
It's the first time I've ever heard that.
So let's find Jon Snow, right?
Yes, because the Crown took measures to quiet these rumors. Suffice it to say that Queen Aelith's supposed cousin is far from an ideal candidate for the throne. But I will not go into detail on this topic. It is irrelevant. And it will stay irrelevant. Because the Queen will survive. I can feel it.
Okay. Well, am I leaving now?
I'll be leaving now.
All right.
So, wait a minute. Let's just quickly talk to...
Hey,
How are things?
Oh.
Any troubles with the Ash Reavers yet?
no, it's all good. They respect me, and they respect you. And as long as that's a given, they won't cause any trouble. Not for us, that is.
Something on your mind interesting, so you can talk to them again. But there's nothing here that tells me to advance the story any further or not. That's weird.
Is something on your mind, Gore? You seem, I don't know, rattled.
What do you think, Tahar?
It's about Kagan, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, Tahar, the thing with the knife. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it. Without me, the fire wielders would have broken apart. And it would have been you and all of Io who would have paid the price. Just so I could have my personal catharsis.
Very selfish, but it led to a pretty decent result.
What I'm trying to say is, sorry. That was selfish. And it was stupid.
Indeed it was. So you would have done it?
So it wasn't an act.
No, Tahar, it wasn't.
No need to apologize.
No need to apologize, Gore. Really.
Anyway, for what it's worth, I'm glad we didn't have to kill him. I feel relieved. At least a little. Anything else you need? So you made it after all. Not bad.
You didn't think I would?
No. That sleep you were in. I didn't feel that there was any life left in you. But then again, you always were damn hard to kill to begin with.
Kind of feels as if I had this dialogue before.
That new energy inside you, though, that's a different story.
So you can feel it?
That's like standing in front of a bonfire and being asked if you can feel the heat. Yes, Tahar, I can. Anyway, in case you're here to ask, we're staying.
So, you'll help me fight the Purity?
You make it sound as though this thing is somehow your responsibility. It isn't. That fanatic, with his idiotic stories of the All-Father's return, is out for all of us. Especially the orcs, or the other members of the Dark Races. So yeah, the Fire Wielders will stay.
That's good news. Thanks, Gore.
Don't mention it. Anything else? Huh?
Ah, there we go.
I'll be off.
So, finally we can really talk to Angar. So, yeah, you mentioned something about allies.
You said that you have an idea on how we can get more allies to fight the Purity.
Yes, I do. It's someone you're already familiar with. At least, according to your friend Iria. The Iron Falcons.
You want to convince them to join our troops?
Not all of them, obviously. The Field Dog are an even greater threat than the Purity, even if most people nowadays have almost forgotten about them. What I suggest is that we strike a bargain with them. They give us a small division of their elite keepers, and we provide them with twice the amount of foot and maybe engineers to make up for it.
Engineers and infantry for a handful of knights. Is that really worth it?
It is. The Falcons aren't only excellent fighters. Their presence will also inspire our soldiers. They're living legends.
Interesting. It didn't seem like that when I was there.
That's not what it seemed like when I was there. High Keeper Aranor almost lost the tomb just because she was too stubborn to cooperate with the Deathmen.
Well, given that the latter now fight for the Harbinger, her mistrust wasn't that unjustified, don't you think? But still, you make a fair point. Keeper Aranor is complicated. But if what the elf told me is true, she learned her lesson.
All right, it's worth a try. When do we set out?
Whenever you want. Thanks to these Godstones, it won't take us long to get there. So I'm not expecting this mission to cost us more than a day, 2 at most. We should probably take some troops with us, just in case the canyon is still unsafe.
Fair enough. I'll let you know when we go.
Good.
Okay, I believe it.
I'll be...
All right.
So...
Will do.
Perfect. And now that I also know that there is a bit more dialogue that can happen. Oh wait, you can also examine her again. Where am I? I'm here. Let's connect to
What's
that one
next?
here. And check that eye. Maybe you get a bit more information. And now she's also glowing. I don't know. Before she was just lying there dead, I believe. Did we get anything? Yeah. Huh.
She's breathing, but her spirit is gone. Damn you, Lacane.
And that's it. So, 3, 2, 1, teleport. So, let's just prepare so that we can go to the one that's more important.
Understood.
There we go. Yeah, let's make this a more talky episode and continue with yeah, with the falcons in the next one. So because I have to get all of the orcs now. Jesus, wow, there's only Gore that I have to talk to. What about no, Isgrimm's not here. I can double click Undergast, but it does not point me towards Undergast, which is a bit iffy. But alright. And Taylor, Island Tribe, The thing is, you can't really use the buying mechanic because there's no way for you to actually get that much money. The only way for you to actually use it in a certain fashion is to specialize on specific units and buildings that you like to use an awful lot. And then you get some upgrades for them, and then that's basically it. You can't buy any legendary items also, or was it rare ones? Epic ones.
Now,
Tahar, what is it?
Okay.
I'll be off.
So, I had a little talk with Rowan already. No, it's just Undergast I need to talk to. Just some random arsonist, great. Okay, how many are there? Uram. Wait a minute, where is Uram? Uram. Uram is right next to Iana, isn't it? Yeah. Uram and Iana are close together. Gore and Angar are close together. Yuria is... Oh wait, yeah, Yuria has a separate quarter in the Nexus. You can talk to her. Okay, let's skip her dialogue for now. Rowan I got to. Isgrimm as well. Yeah, now it's just Undergast, Iana and Uram I kind of have to talk to.
What do we need?
So, let's see. Maybe there's additional dialogue.
Yes, what is it?
Okay.
Goodbye.
So, this I already got. Let's go to the center real quick. Maybe it's just that I haven't really talked to Gore and Angar after the whole getting out of stasis kind of thing. That's why I didn't get any good response. So,
Yes, Corporal? How can I help?
yeah, otherwise they would give me a different response.
So, back on your feet again, aren't you?
There we go.
Good, because there's plenty of work ahead of us. Do you think you can handle it? Leading the troops, I mean?
Why wouldn't I?
Why wouldn't I?
Well, you've obviously been through a lot. Finding out that your mother's a shaper, and that you are the result of some experiment, that leaves scars, whether you want it to or not.
Well, you can say it's scars, but it doesn't change anything.
At least all that explains why your aura has always felt so strange. You're not human. At least not entirely.
Yeah, I guess I'm not.
I guess I'm not.
Makes you more interesting, though. Either way, we'll find a way to get your mother back. What that fucking bastard did will not go unpunished. Trust me on that.
So I guess that means you're staying.
Yeah, you guessed right. But at least for now. You're not the only one with an interest in seeing the purity of light have their fucking stakes shoved up their own asses. Now we should probably get back to planning. There's plenty of things we need to do if we want to get Greyfell back from that fanatic.
Right. I'll see you around then.
You will.
Alright, let's have a little talk to the dwarves real quick.
Yes, come closer. I'm
Oh,
sure I
sure.
have just what you need.
Yep, nice epic leech weapons. Also, maybe you can do a nice stun build. Only problem with these weapons is that they're extremely slow. And then we have another one of those chance to ignore armor kind of weapons. Interesting. Fascinating. So an axe is the type of weapon that has siege damage, always. At least if it's two-handed. Yeah. Two-handed weapons seem to have siege damage. Clubs not so much. Wait, this is stuff. Yeah, this is a one-handed hammer. Two-handed hammers do have siege damage. There we go. What about simpler hammers? There's no such thing. Nice armor pieces though. Maybe you can mix and match according to some specific color pattern also. Huh. Oh, wait. I also wanted to buy some of those potions from someone. I don't know where that was. I think it was in the human town in Everlight. There was a vendor that sold attribute potions and talent potions, I believe. Ay. Anyway, before we go and change locations to there we go. Wherever Aeonius Blade is, we're going to end this little episode. Continue, of course, with some better human troops in the next one. So, like and subscribe. Ta-ta.